the universe reflected in each shining part. And that's what I see. That's what I see when I look out here at you. Yeah, I have a sermon to do. I should remember that. Okay. So, we're almost done, folks. We're continuing on our series about the 10 Commandments, which are very much in the news today, but which can be made relevant in our lives, and not just the rules and regulations of thou shalt not kill. You probably didn't need a commandment to tell you that. You probably figured it out on your own, that it wouldn't be such a good idea. And many of them are that way, but there is a way to take them to a deeper level and to make them really, really relevant to our lives today. And today, we're actually doing Commandments 8 and 9. And I'm calling that live honestly. It's the commandment not to steal, and it's the commandment not to give false testimony against your neighbor. Not to steal and not to lie. Okay? So, thou shalt not steal. Most of us figure that out without having to be really told. But think about the ways that we steal when we cheat in any way, when we try to get a grade or give an impression that we have not earned or that is not actually true of us. How many times have you broken copyright? Stealing someone's intellectual property. I'm very sensitive to that as a songwriter and as a friend of a bunch of songwriters. And people aren't aware. I had my first CD that I put out years ago. I had this woman come and tell me, just right to my face, she's like, "I love your CD so much that I made copies for 10 people." It's like, thank you. It cost me $10,000 to produce that, so thank you. So we're not aware. We may be stealing in ways that we're not even aware of. So really, paying taxes. Are you looking for loopholes? If it's illegal, yeah, it's fine. But do we understand that we pay our taxes for a reason, that we get benefit from them? And to try to get out of paying the taxes that we're due is a method of stealing, not from the government, but from everybody. Right? From everybody. So, to not steal means, I think, to be kind and to be aware always of others. To be aware always of others, not just to not steal their things. So, waste of any kind is a type of theft, right? We steal time. Have you ever just realized I just took that person's time and I really didn't have anything to offer, anything to give? I think that's what Emily Cady was talking about, is our time is valuable and other people's time is valuable. When we show up late to a meeting, we have wasted the time of the people who were there on time. That is a form of stealing. I'm sorry, I'm not calling you out, I'm just saying. We can steal attention. I was married to somebody who loved to steal attention, and I was happy to give it to him. But really, when we are trying to steal attention, it's because we've forgotten that we are special, very, very special, just like everybody else. We are all unique and wonderful, and so is everyone. And this is tied in to the next commandment. Have you ever, by your words, stolen somebody's good reputation? Have you said words about them that were not kind and told another person whose impression of that person has now changed because of what you said? Think about it. We can steal people's dignity. I can tell you that as a parent, one of the things that I was not in recovery from my perfectionism when my daughter was young, and I often would either redo something that she had done or take it away from her and do it myself, because I wanted it done right. The towels had to be folded exactly right. Oh my goodness. I've made amends to her for that. And I have to say, today she folds her towels very neatly. But I had to make amends for that. It occurred to me when she was a teenager that when I got into recovery, it's like I've been stealing her dignity by doing things for her that she could and should do for herself, right? When we're spoiling our children, we really are spoiling something. When we're doing something for them, for anyone, that's enabling, right? We're enabling them to not be their best self. We're enabling them not to show up in the ways that they really can. We're enabling them not to face a challenge and conquer it, right? When we do things for other people that they should and can do for themselves. That's not the same as helping when someone can't do for themselves, or when someone's not in a position to do for themselves. But I was told that at one point, have you ever thought that you're stealing her dignity? And I was like, whoa. All the ways that I have done that unknowingly, I don't even remember. And have I done it to other people? Yeah, I'm sure I have. So what I'm talking about here is I'm not trying to indict you. You've been stealing all your life and that's not that kind of thing. But what I'm hoping to do with this whole series is to bring stuff into our awareness, Just because you don't take somebody's stuff or steal from a store doesn't mean that you can completely let yourself off the hook, not because you're bad or wrong, but because you have power beyond measure. You have power that you don't know about. You have power over other people's lives by the way you behave. And so when we look at these commandments in a how does this apply to me? Okay, I'm not a thief, but how can this apply to me? When we look at it from that direction, then we just become more conscious in our daily interactions. And that's really what's being asked here. Become more conscious in our daily interactions. I have stolen people's opportunity to grow by doing something for them that made them not have to face a challenge that was actually theirs to face. I wouldn't want to be robbed of my opportunities to grow. Even though at the time that they're happening, I actually might want somebody to come and rescue me, right? We all do. But not rescuing, unless somebody cannot rescue themselves. And in a way, when we start to rescue them, that's our way of saying, I can see that you can't rescue yourself. Right? We don't want to steal somebody's opportunity to grow. And that's going to lead into the next, because sometimes we don't tell the truth about things because we don't want to make any waves or hurt anybody's feelings or get into any kind of confrontation. And when I refuse to say what's true to you, when the truth is what's called for, I'm basically saying, I don't trust you to handle this truth. Even if it might challenge you. If it challenges you, perhaps that's an opportunity for you to grow. And for me to say a truth that's hard to say is definitely an opportunity for me to grow. So I'm robbing myself of the opportunity to grow when I don't speak a truth that needs to be spoken. And when we lie, when we steal someone's right to know the truth about ourselves or about anything, we not only steal the truth from them, take away their opportunity to actually see the way things are, but we hide. We're hiding who we are. Have you ever just I'm going to let you see this, and this is who I am, and I'm not going to let you see what's really going on in here. Not going to let you see what's really going on in here. And have you ever stolen somebody's work? I know gratuities are extra. That's what the word means. But when you know that a waiter is literally getting paid $2 an hour, and only that because it's hopefully enough to cover the taxes on what the government assumes their gratuity is, right? So they get a paycheck that's zero. Did y'all know that? Waiters get paychecks that are actually zero. They live on the gratuities. from their patrons. And that's a really nasty system that it's set up that way. But when I want to give someone a gratuity, or when I use someone's services, giving them a gratuity feels like my duty and my responsibility, not just something I do for extra. And when I withhold that, I am stealing their livelihood. I have taken their time and their efforts and stolen their livelihood. And that doesn't mean if their time and effort wasn't given to me appropriately, that I might not give a smaller gratuity than if they really went out of their way. But I don't give less when it's not good. I give more when it's especially good. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm better than you if I do this. I'm saying I waited tables for 10 years. So I know most people don't know this. Most people don't know. And I lied. It's actually $2.01 per hour. I don't know why the 1 cent, but it's 201. Right. Okay. So to steal even more, these are some of the ways that we can steal without even being aware of it, right? So just bringing it into our awareness, just becoming more conscious of what I do, how I live, my words and my actions affect the world. And y'all, that is the fundamental truth that we believe here. That's what we say every week when we talk about our vision and mission statement, is that we are here to evolve the planet. How? By making other people do what they need to do? No, by evolving ourselves. Because when every heart is peaceful, that is when peace will prevail on earth, not when somebody gets a gun and makes somebody else stop shooting, right? When every heart is peaceful, that's when there's peace on earth. So my responsibility is to follow this inner guidance, right? And to help evolve the whole, because we're one. I'm not separate from you. All of my relations in this one heart, It's who we are. And what we do affects the whole. Not just the people around us, but a larger whole. It affects the whole. So, beyond that, to steal means that you believe in limitation, right? That you believe in lack. You have invested your energy in lack. I need this because if I don't get this from you, there won't be one for me. Is that what you believe? That's what most of the world believes. That's how we're in the mess we're in. Because if you have more, I might have less. And the truth is there's enough for everyone. And it's the greed of the ones who are afraid of lack that causes the external lack in the lives of others. And when we no longer believe in lack, we face the world completely differently. Completely differently. And I want to say this because this is important. The number one impediment to the spiritual path I have noted in 30 plus years of ministry, 39 years of ministry, the number one impediment is the lack of self-worth. Is if you don't believe you deserve it, no one can give it to you. They can pour it all over you. But if you don't believe you deserve it, you can't take it in. So in this context, the word deserve becomes completely meaningless. There is enough for you, and you get to have it just because you're here. You don't have to pay rent to be on the planet. The fact that you were born on the planet means you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here, and I celebrate you for being here. And we begin to celebrate each other for being here. And when you can celebrate yourself for being here instead of judging yourself at every moment, you are evolving the world. Yes. And that's our responsibility, right? We have this vision for the world to evolve. What am I going to do about it? What's my responsibility there? So we have to learn to believe in the abundance of the universe, to tap into a power that is not limited and that never runs out. Okay? The power of God is not limited. It is infinite. It is eternal. It is our source. It is the very substance of which we are made. And when we tune into that, then we get to use that energy. If we don't know we have that energy, then we're not using it very wisely, or definitely not very fully. And so when we know that, we can start to use that energy. And to believe, this is a very important affirmation that you can hold in your heart. And I'm holding it in my heart right now because things are kind of scary right now in my world. There's a lot of changes that are taking place, and some of them are financial changes. And here's the thing that I hold in my mind, and I absolutely believe. Nothing that is mine can be taken from me. Nothing that is mine, that is meant for me, can be taken from me. It's actually impossible. If it gets taken, it wasn't mine. So what do I care? Nothing that is mine can be taken from me. When I was interviewing for ministerial jobs and I didn't get the first couple that I thought, I'm a shoo-in. My prayer was, every time I went in for an interview, is, God, if this is my job, I want it. I'm here for it. I'm open to it. I'll do everything I can to fulfill it. And if it's not my job, I don't want it. Give it to whoever it is. And I can't tell you how clearly I see that if I'd gotten those jobs that I thought I wanted, I would have never have come here. And this is my job, y'all. This is it. This is what I was waiting for, and I didn't even know it. But because I have the attitude of, I'm not going to turn myself inside out. I'm going to wait for the job that is mine. And I got it. And I got it. I believed in the abundance of the universe. I believed that nothing that is mine could be taken from me, that I am abundantly supplied from an infinite source of good. There is another affirmation for you. Nothing that's mine can be taken from me. I am abundantly supplied from an infinite source of good. There's no end to God's good. You don't reach the finish line and, we just ran out. There's no end to God's good. So then when I believe that, when I live my life that way, fear and lack leave me. And I live in a more generous fashion. I become, all of the impediments to my natural, God-given generosity are taken away. And I become a more generous person. And when you're a generous person, you get so many gifts you don't even realize. You don't even realize until you begin to be generous how generous other people are and how generous the world is. So I kind of have done a turnaround with some of these. Do not steal, okay? All of these are thou shalt nots. But what do you do? What are you here to do? How about if you give more than what is asked? To me, that's the opposite of taking something that doesn't belong. Being open to giving even more than what is asked. Time, more attention, more money, more goodwill. Honestly rejoice in other people's good because you know that them having good can't possibly reduce your good. These are all ways to live generously. To rejoice in the success and the good fortune of others is a huge one. So, all of that is about how we can activate this 8th commandment in our lives. And to activate the 9th commandment, they're so very closely related. In the 9th, depending upon the translation, you shall not give false witness against your neighbor. And that can be interpreted to say, don't tell any lies. Don't tell any lies about your neighbor. Yeah, don't tell lies, period, is the way it's often. And I think that's a good idea. When you tell a lie, you're stealing someone's right to the truth, right? But from the original Hebrew, that word of bearing false witness is less about lying and more about the repetition of something. So it's as much about gossip as it is about lies. Oops. That's why I read that Emily Cady bit, because I first read that book when I was like 22 years old, and that line stuck with me forever. When you dissipate your energy in idle gossip, you have no idea what you lose by it. You have no idea what you lose by it. So, secrets that are not yours to tell. That is a way of giving false witness. Sticks and stones. Really, words can hurt you too. They absolutely can. That was a lie when you heard that as a kid. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Words hurt worse than anything almost, I have found in life. And what does it mean to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Here's my caveat on that. True and kind. Yeah, if it doesn't need to be said, if you're not going to actually create any good by saying something that doesn't need to be said, in the name, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. How many times have you been hurt by someone who said they were just being honest with you? So you have to use your words with care. And that's what this is about. It's not about whether you give false testimony or whether you lie or whether you start to choose your words with care, because they matter. Literally, they matter. Everything starts as energy, and then by some amazing alchemical physical process that I don't understand at all, it becomes matter. And matter can't ever die, but it can go back into energy, right? So we're eternal because we're just constantly, we're matter and then we're antimatter. But the deal is, words matter. What's put out into the universe. I mean, that's the whole point of Genesis, is let there be light, and there was light. I said it, and it came true. And said it doesn't mean just the word in a language. It means knowing it, saying it in your heart, believing in the reality of it. So, partial information, assumptions, perceptions, judgments. It's all partial, y'all. When you think you're telling the whole truth, it's all partial truth because it's being filtered through your own perceptions. I don't have another way of seeing this except through my eyes. Until I open myself and pray, let me see through your eyes. Let me see that these are all my relations. Let me see that way. And even then, as long as I'm occupying this human body, I will never see truly, fully that way. I can open myself up more and more and more to seeing that way. And I hope that I do. But I don't give any, I'm under no false impression that I'm doing this perfectly. By the way, these are the things that I tell myself. These are the spiritual practices that I work with, that I'm sharing with you. So gossiping and saying, I just told the truth, not only steals time away from yourself and the other, because what are you doing? Is there any point in it? Is there any purpose in it? No. You're putting your talk and attention on others, and here's the crux of it. When I'm so interested in talking about them, my attention is not on what? Myself. It's a lot easier to find something to judge in someone else and not have to look at the places in my life that I'm not showing up as my best self. We have at least I'm not doing that kind of thing going on. So when we start to talk about others, we ask, is there a point to this? Is there a purpose? Is there, in some way, am I helping? Am I giving information that's going to be helpful? Or am I idly saying something that is taking my attention off of where it needs to be, which is on myself? And we never know the whole truth because we never know another person's story. We see their behavior and we go, I know the truth about you. I've seen what you did. But have I seen what you went through that led you to this point? I have not. I have not. There's a quote I use a lot, and I never do remember who said it. I'm going to use it again. If you truly knew everybody's story, there's nobody you couldn't love. If you truly knew everybody's story, there's nobody that you couldn't love. Even if you grew up in the same house with them at roughly the same time, and you think you had identical experiences, you did not have identical experiences. You never know someone else's story fully. You can't. So all that we can do is based our actions on self-comparison. So if we're going to do this, we can't just compare it to our better selves. Well, I'm in my best self. I never do anything that bad. If we're going to go all the way, well, is there that in me? Is there a little Hitler in me? Do I want to tell the world what to do and have it my way? And make the people that I don't agree with go away? There's a little Hitler in me, right? There's a little of that in all of us because we're all human. We're all human, and it's easy to go, but you're a lot worse. And maybe inactivity, the results of the behavior and the results of that is worse in the world, but I'm not here to fix someone else. I'm here to fix everyone by fixing me. Okay, because we are one. We are one. Whatever we say about another, believe this. No matter what it is true of you. If I say something about you, it's true of me. That old adage that when you're pointing to someone, you got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. Yeah. Always, 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 always. So, does this mean we never talk about people? It means that we take a look at our motivations. If we're trying to help someone with their safety, give them fair warning about something, okay, but be very careful. Be very careful about misaligning someone else because it's easy to poison the well. And that's not what we want to do. If you're sharing about the specific help that someone might need, hey, can you help me because I've noticed this person needs this help. Just be careful. I'm not saying you can't, but be careful about your motivations and about what really could evolve from that. I have to vent sometimes. Y'all, I don't know about you, but sometimes I just have to vent. So I have to be very, very careful about whom I process with. And am I really processing? Because if I've already shared it and I'm sharing it again and again and again and again, then the process I'm caught in is me reliving something that I didn't like. And how is that doing me any good? So even when you're just processing or venting and you're with a safe person that you know is not going to share it, still, the idea is be aware. Be aware of your words and be careful with them. Compassion. Have compassion. Because what you say can't be unsaid. And what you do can't be undone. So when we bear false witness, when we gossip, we're actually breaking 5 commandments. We've forgotten who is God. And when we do that, we're taking God's name in vain. We're taking the God that lives within us and we're using it in a way that is not at all godly. We're misusing the name of God. We may be killing someone's spirit without even knowing it. We may be stealing their good reputation. And we're bearing witness in a place that it's none of our business to bear witness. So finally, just stay in your hula hoop. The last thing I want to say is, this is true for you as well. Probably more than anything. I know you. Even if I hadn't had lunch with you, I know you. This is what I know about you. You bear false witness against yourself all the time. Every time you put yourself down, every time you say, what a dummy, every time you say, well, here I go again, you are bearing false witness against yourself. You're misusing the name of God. You're killing your own spirit. Today, if you take nothing else from this, just become more aware of how the words you use, those spoken and those that stay in here but go right into here, right? Become more aware of how those words can affect yourself, because when you affect yourself, you affect the whole world, because we are one. Thank you. We're just going to take that into a little meditation. Take in a deep breath. And as you exhale, let go of the tension in your body as much as you can. Just picture all the little tense places just going out through your fingertips and through the bottom of your feet and leaving you relaxed. As you breathe in, consciously know that you are breathing in the breath of God. That in effect, the divine is breathing you. If God weren't intimately connected, you would not be sustained. And so every breath you can remind yourself, I'm loved, I'm being sustained by the energy and power of God. With each breath, I am being sustained by the energy and power of God. Or simpler affirmation might be, God is breathing life into me now. Say that to yourself and see how the next breath feels. God is breathing life into me now. I am God's, and God is mine. I belong to this infinite power and presence. I belong to this unconditional, eternal love. That's my home. That's where I live. I belong there. And all of this belongs to me, or I wouldn't have been born. It is, as Jesus said, your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to deserve it. You don't have to ask for it. You don't even have to be aware of it. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So the kingdom is already yours. Maybe say that affirmation to yourself. The kingdom of God is already mine. The kingdom of heaven is already here in me. And then take it a step further. Nothing that is mine can be taken from me. It's not possible. Nothing that is mine can be taken from me. Nothing that is mine can ever be taken from me. And when we begin to believe this, we approach the world from a completely new place. I can be open and generous because I already have all I need. It was my Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom, and guess what? I get to be used as a vessel for bringing the kingdom into others' lives. nothing that is mine can be taken from me. There is no lack or limitation in God. I belong to God, and therefore there is no lack or limitation in my life, in me. And because of this, I am gentle with my words and actions. I have no desire to take anything that doesn't belong to me. I have no desire to speak from a place of lack or to do anything that might cause harm. I am free as God created me to be. I leave you with that one. I am free as God created me to be. And so it is. Amen.